There are a plethora of different ways game designers make games. The narrative structure that developers choose to implement into their games, as well as the art style and general design of game functions, all contribute to creating a unique, enjoyable experience for all players. Some games do this better than others. One of my favorite games of all time, Astroneer, is, to me, the gold standard of any game when it comes to driving player progress and exploration through the use of world design, narrative structure, and art style. This presentation aims to expand on this, and explain how Astroneer uses its narrative structure and game design to drive player engagement. Astroneer provides nothing in the way of exposition except for observable things, like the fact that you play as an astronaut on an alien planet. You're given a small base, a backpack with a catalog to unlock craftable structures, and a landing pad used to complete quests. In place of cutscenes, NPC dialogue, or story logs that can be found in many games, Astroneer relies entirely on environmental storytelling to keep the player interested in the world. A player's expedition into a cave may lead to an abandoned generator or other broken equipment. Trips on the surface yield similar results, with abandoned bases being strewn across the surface of the first planet. As put by Henry Jenkins in a 2005 study, the game space becomes a memory palace whose contents must be deciphered as the player tries to reconstruct the plot. This results in players questioning the world they've been put into, and seeking answers through further exploration. Jenkins calls this embedded narrative, where the player can evolve a sense of story over time by stumbling across spaces and objects or artifacts that become familiar and are thus decoded for embedding meaning or importance. This indirect approach to narrative drives player progress, with alien structures appearing around the first planet, and the core containing sprawling mushroom forests the deeper players venture towards the planet's core. Astroneer is designed in such a way that the story is written almost entirely by the player. Henry Jenkins calls this method of storytelling emergent narrative, where the player imagines or authors the story by playing in a world they actively construct. Instead of a typical narrative told through cutscenes or in-world items, the game uses its art style, overall game design, and aspects of environmental storytelling to guide the player through the world, while leaving players to ask and answer their own questions. One of the first important things a player will find in the game is an alien gateway chamber. Charging these unlocks a quest to travel to the planet's core, and then to an alien space station. These quests guide the player towards the alien structure, but do nothing to explain where these gateway chambers came from, what they do, or how to get to them. Instead, the player is led through a sequence of events that shows the gateway chambers are linked to the core, and the core is linked to the alien space station. This use of emergent narrative throughout the whole game keeps the player involved in gameplay and the authoring of the story that they are experiencing, by ensuring that the player gets to decide how they face and solve challenges, like finding and activating the alien structure, rather than offering a mechanic or straightforward explanation on how to do so. This brings me to the world design of Astroneer as a whole, and the artistic choices that led to the game being a place for player creativity to thrive. As put by Jenkins yet again, game designers don't simply tell stories, they design worlds and sculpt spaces. If the design of Astroneer is architectural, this means that Astroneer is inherently artistic. In addition, an article by Afzal Ibrahim in 2024 states that art offers a medium for expression, which Astroneer absolutely exhibits given the design of the game's mechanics and world. Astroneer is sculpted in such a way that players are left with a deeply unique experience. The game takes place in a solar system that loosely mirrors our own, with each unique planet containing resources that are required to progress through the tech tree. Each planet's landscape is also randomly generated for each individual player. Players are tasked with shaping their surroundings into outposts that offer a way for players to express themselves creatively. Basically, Astroneer offers players the tools to sculpt the world in a way that is entirely unique, allowing them to express themselves in a way that is inherently artistic, further ensuring that players are engaged fully with the world that they have been put into. Separate from the design of Astroneer's gameplay is its art style. Astroneer has a relatively simplistic approach to its visuals. Landscapes are extremely angular, and each planet has a distinct color palette that keeps every location unique from the last. Pat Power stated in a 2012 study that introducing fantastical and imaginative elements can provide an element of flexibility and freedom when crafting creative ideas. Astroneer showcases ample imaginative elements in its world by making each planet uniquely alien and interesting. Every nook and cranny of Astroneer's landscapes are eye-catching. This drives exploration by leading players over to interesting landmarks where they can stumble upon other Astroneer's wreckages, alien structures, valuable resources, or even a nice place to build a base. Essentially, Astroneer draws on its visuals to provoke player exploration. The question of "what's over there?" yields valuable knowledge of the world the player is actively engaged in, as well as resources or spots to build outposts that serve the gameplay loop. All in all, Astroneer has a narrative that is designed in such a way that player autonomy and expression is prioritized over all else, while using its visuals and overall world design to drive player engagement.